It actually was the depression that led me to look for a support group because there wasn't, I didn't really have any sort of support or people that I could talk to about it. I looked specifically for a gay group, and I felt that it would be better for me and that I could be more honest with other gay men that were going through the same thing, and some of who also have partners, and the partners are similar to Michael, but they could not talk to their partners either.
I do need the opportunity myself to talk to someone objectively about it. I would very much like to see groups established for partners of those that are going through this situation. The way of life, you know, for same-sex couples is, I think, obviously different than the way of life for heterosexual couples. And so no, I wouldn't have felt comfortable, and still would not feel comfortable going to a heterosexual support group.
I'm hoping probably within the next 3 or 4 years to find out exactly, to have the treatment done, when I probably have the radical prostatectomy, because I'd rather just get rid of it than have it being held over my head, almost like a guillotine.
I decided to avail myself of the resources that were available. But after the second bout, figured, where is there a gay group? And I figured, well, how do I go about forming a gay group? Which I did. And it was fantastic to sit with other gay men. Most of them had prostate cancer, some other were different cancers. At that point, I could not talk about sexual dysfunction or anything. I started talking about sexual dysfunction with my psychiatrist. Being able to open up to him allowed me to open up to the group, and in turn allowed me to open up to all my friends, both straight and gay, outside the group in my general life. One of the side effects of the hormonal treatment is hot flashes. Some days I had hot flashes about 2 or 3 an hour, and they just drain you. You start sweating, and you just don't have any energy. It's not so bad during the day, but then you start at night. They wake you up. You're just drenched. They're not fun. It's better than the alternative as far as I'm concerned. What else is there? Oh yeah, increase in breast mass. So maybe in 2 years, I'll be able to be a drag queen. I won't need an implant. And in 10 years, I'll have a whole hip covered breast reduction surgery.
As far as the anal penetration and prostate pleasure, my answer is probably a little surprising, because it was one of my strongest pleasure areas. I wouldn't consider myself to be exclusively a bottom by any means, but I certainly did like it when I was on bottom or sitting on top riding or any of the other many positions possible. I have not gone there since the treatment. There's a fear there that, you know, maybe somebody's going to be in there and I'm going to feel nothing. I mean, I would be fucking horrified if that's the case. I would say that I could also add to that and say I'm definitely going to try at some point soon. So maybe if you want to come back in a few months, I'll be able to answer that question for you better. I never went through the feeling that this was something I couldn't handle. I was not afraid of dying. I'd been there. I'd already done that. I lived for years with the threat of HIV killing me. long before medications were, and I watched friends die. Often asking myself, why not me? Why am I the one that's surviving here? I would have to say now that I feel better and I have more strength and energy than I have had in 10 years, without question. And that's why I've restarted my business, and I'm staying active and very focused.
I was afraid I'd never have an erection again. And that's a big thing for a guy. And I thought that may never happen. And it didn't for a little while. But the first time it all worked was really, it was kind of nice.
Without erection being what it might have been, that's one thing for you to have dealt with, and it certainly is one thing for me to have dealt with. Being gay, being certain things we like, and I think as a part of the richness of growth, we discover that we don't just need to have a real hard penis every time.
However, if your life has all been defined by having a huge erection and then a huge orgasm, then you might live the rest of your life in disappointment. You might live most of your life in disappointment because you've never found what you were looking for anyway. And
well, keep on looking then. Yeah, it's really true that our sexual communication is very much a deep communion. However, at times it's nothing more than just having fun with each other and with ourselves, and I think it's more than just communion.
You're telling me that after all these years.
Well, I guess we'll have to go have some fun. We do.
Did you bring any of those pills with you, doctor? One of the things that I think it did was it gave us an opportunity to talk about living and dying. And I think it set the stage for the next phase of our life.
I think rather than it being a wedge or driving either one of us away from the other, I think it allowed us, maybe it didn't, we allowed it to be something to have a deeper relationship.
It gave us a little more zest for living. It made us realize that, don't wait till spring. Do it now.